page. I have it. On page 143, today's daily Parsha insight for Monday, Parshas Akev, second Aliyah, said Moshe was exhorting the Jews, said, and reminded them, remember when God took you out and he led you from Egypt, led you through a great and awesome desert with snakes, vipers, scorpions, and thirst. So that was Moshe's reminding them, remember your humble and vulnerable beginnings. The Torah lists the stages through which we collectively and individually can descend to exile. So actually, Alan, you asked, how do we apply this? So here's today's insight. It's about this. When Moshe is telling you, remember these places, remember where you come from and the vulnerability, this is what it's saying. You went through a great. The first stage is overestimating the power of the mundane world. Look at this desert. Look at this godless place, planet Earth, civilization. It's so great. Don't overestimate the greatness of civilization, of the world. And don't underestimate the power of holiness. You think it's awesome. The desert's a parable for the material world, because the desert is devoid of human civilization, and the world sometimes looks devoid of God's civilization. But don't get so worried. Don't get so overimpressed. You think it's awesome. You look at the material world and you say, "Oh man, it's awesome." It has the upper hand over the religious aspect of life. I have to give in. I got to first make money, and then I'll worry about Shabbos or whatever, And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's filled with snakes, this world. This leads us to replace our natural religious fervor with snakes have hot venom. Hot venom is a parable for hot desire in the physical pursuits, of the temporal pursuits. And then you're like, this world has vipers. Vipers they have a burning sting that represents, and like you have such, your fervor becomes about materialism, like in a total fashion. And there's scorpions in this world. What's scorpions? Scorpions have cold venom. So it says when you get so into the passionate about the physical pursuits, eventually it leaves you cold and empty and deadened to anything. You just feel empty. You think, oh, I'll be into physical materialism and pleasure. I'll be a passionate person. You end up cold and empty, like the cold venom of a scorpion. And thirst, the final thing. And when God tries to rouse us from this state of unfortunate disconnect with all these, hyperbole, we won't even know what the thirst is. We won't realize we're thirsting for God. We'll think we're thirsting for another vacation or another whatever pursuit. We won't even know the thirst is godly thirst. How do you avoid all this? Is don't go down this path. Don't give in to the desert. Number one, what's the number one thing? Don't overestimate the greatness and the powerfulness of the material modern world. We deal with it, but we don't pretend that it is God. It is not God. God is still
not godly.
Finishing up, by fostering our awareness of the power of holiness, we can avoid all the slippery slope of the other steps. Number one is God. Don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big God is. Chase Tablets to quote that. We're just going to finish the daily mitzvah. 1 second, nothing to wait. Monday, the 84th mitzvah of the Sefer HaMitzvahs, we're commanded to offer all sacrifices only in the temple, nowhere else. Pre-temple, they could actually offer it in makeshift altars. Once there's a temple, only there. The 85th mitzvahs were commanded to bring all sacrifices that are obligatory, which we talked about: sin offering, burnt offering, guilt offering, peace offering. They go to the temple, even if you're offering them from outside Israel, the diaspora. You have to go all the way to Jerusalem. This means even if we became obligated to bring them when we're outside Israel, we have to go take the lengthy journey and bring them to the temple. And the 90th prohibition is we're forbidden from slaughtering any sacrifice outside the temple courtyard. This action would be called shochet bachutz.